Well, it's official. Another head coach has been released from the UFL. And this one comes as no surprise, as we talked about last night here on the channel when we announced that Mike Nolan was no longer going to be with the UFL, was not going to be relocated to one of the new locations. This one does not come as a surprise. CJ Johnson has released a statement on dismissal from the UFL. Of course, CJ Johnson, former head coach of the Houston Gamblers and the Houston Roughnecks, with the merger, will not continue coaching for the UFL for the Houston Gamblers in the 2026 season when they return to the fold. And again, my speculation on this is that Wade Phillips will kind of that coaching train that's been going on in Houston between Wade Phillips, CJ Johnson. It just keeps happening. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about this courtesy of James Larson with Pro Football Newsroom, and just this overall statement that really kind of puts to home what is going on in the UFL. This comes to us with the news of Mike Nolan's departure from the UFL yesterday. It felt like more moves would be on the way. This was confirmed as Ace UFM of United Football Media reports that CJ Johnson has also been dismissed by the United Football League. CJ, Curtis Johnson, has spent the last few years in the spring space. He took over as head coach for the USFL's Gamblers in 2023 when Kevin Sumlin departing for Maryland. Johnson's Gamblers were 5-5 that year, with running back Mark Thompson earning Offensive Player of the Year honors. Things weren't nearly as smooth for CJ in the UFL. Under the new branding of the Roughnecks, Houston went 1-9 during the 2024 season. This year, after a rough start, the Roughnecks did stabilize, finishing with a 5-5 record, with Jalen McClendon leading the way. And that's kind of what I talked about yesterday, that I thought that he would be released and wouldn't come back to the Gamblers in 2026, but what happened with Jalen McClendon really kind of shined of what could possibly be the future of that team. They did very, very well at the end of the year, like through the actual second half of the season, but that doesn't count here, and unfortunately he has been let go, to no surprise here. However, James Larson says, with the UFL's massive restructuring under leadership of Mike Repole, coaching changes were imminent. CJ Johnson is part of that collateral damage alongside Mike Nolan. Both were coaches that were brought into the league by Daryl Johnston in the USFL, who is no longer employed by the UFL as of this month. The United Football League has no statement on the matter at this time, but an official statement from Coach Johnson has been made to all the players, coaches, GMs, staff, and UFL fans. Kind of sounds like almost the same thing that Mike Nolan said at first. I want to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who has been part of this journey with the Houston Roughnecks and Houston Gamblers and the entire UFL organization. I have been informed that as part of the league restructuring, I will not be returning as head coach in the new UFL league. I respect the decision of pivoting in a new direction. Coaching in the UFL the last 3 years has been a tremendous blessing and rewarding experience. I truly appreciate the dedication of each player, coach, GM, and staff member that showed up day in and day out to make this organization successful. To the fans, you are the real stars of the UFL, and your support has been amazing every game. As with any change in leadership, there is a significant impact that will be felt throughout the organization. I would like to thank each and every person that has been involved in all facets of the Roughnecks and Gamblers Nation. I wish the league nothing but success and appreciate the opportunity to represent such a great organization. Coach CJ. Again, I don't think this will be as shocking. I don't think a lot of people will be mad with this decision, at least in the comments and you guys that watch here on the channel. have never been really fond of CJ at all and has wanted him to go. I've been a little mediocre on that, at least going into the 2025 season, that he would stay. I was correct about that, but yeah, it just did not work out. He had a great relationship with Jalen McClendon once he actually started him and stuck to Jalen McClendon for the rest of the year. But again, it just didn't do anything for the Houston Roughnecks at that point. Now heading into a new franchise, a new rebranding of Houston, going back to the USFL's Houston Gamblers for the 2026 season. I think we are days away, quite honestly, days away, heading into the first week of December, that we will get an announcement on head coaches. And I truly do think that the Houston Gamblers' new head coach will be Wade Phillips, a name that has been known for football for years. He's been in spring football since the 2022 with the XFL when he was hired on prior to the 2023 season. As long as his health is there and stable and everything like that, I do think that he will be returning to the sidelines in Houston, and that'll help at least kind of bump that market up a little bit as well, added on to just the overall process of marketing and things like that could help with the new stadium they're going into and everything with that. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. But again, we are moving quick. There's a lot of news coming out. Could we see more coaches be released in the next couple days? It remains to be seen, but time will only tell. Now, of course, quite frankly, Skip Holtz is another name that Daryl Johnston brought into the USFL to coach the Birmingham Stallions. He has been a tremendous head coach year after year after year. You never could let Skip Holtz like out of the picture when it came to the UFL, leading the Stallions to 3 championships back to back to back. And then, of course, getting to the USFL Conference Championship game in 2025 against the Michigan Panthers. Again, I'm wondering if we could see another change here. I said yesterday I don't think we would see Skip Holtz leaving Birmingham, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious at this point if they are just going to wipe out pretty much all the head coaches that Daryl Johnston brought into the league and kind of start out fresh. I mean, I didn't get to say this yesterday because unfortunately we didn't have time. Let me pull it up here so I can read it, because this kind of makes me think that we could be seeing quite a bit of brand new head coaches in the league when it comes to it, just based off of exactly what is happening here. Let me trying to find it here. Be just a second, because Mike Repole said something very, very interesting on X last night that kind of made me question like exactly what was going on. And I apologize, I meant to have this up. Let's see here. I'm not finding it. But his statement on when someone made a statement about, I apologize, this is running very, very, X is running really slow this morning. Okay, Repole stable. So he goes, when someone say the UFL has made another change, it was a news article regarding Mike Nolan yesterday. He goes, change isn't a risk. Staying the same is at the UFL. To me, this statement really kind of shines. It's a kind of a, not to be rude, but it's kind of an asshole statement, especially towards a head coach like Mike Nolan. Today, again, I made the comment that I didn't think it would be as much of a hit that CJ Johnson was leaving or was resigning if we heard that news, because a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people kind of compare him to Kirby Smart back with the Pittsburgh Maulers in the USFL days that didn't like him at all. Kind of that same vibe with CJ Johnson. I think CJ was a little bit better than him, but again, it's not a surprise in that, but the fact that he's talking about it's a risk staying the same with same coaches and stuff is kind of like an eye-opening thing that makes me wonder if we are getting a complete overhaul of UFL coaches altogether. Bob Stoops, Skip Holtz, Anthony Beck, all of them being gone. I highly doubt it, but it seems a little odd at this point that you would hear those statements, and maybe this is a little bit more proof of what some people were saying, that the Mike Repole era is more of the XFL version, and maybe that's what we're seeing here, that they're getting rid of all the USFL head coaches. I don't think so, but it is very, very interesting to see the changes that are being made here and what is happening. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. A little bit rambly there at the end, but make sure you hit that subscriber button below. We're trying to get to 1,000 to give away 2 season tickets. And then of course, thank you to our channel members as well for your dedication to the channel. We'll see you back here on the flip side. Have a great one, everyone.